tell me that you understand it. Don't tell me that I'm too demanding. I need you to show me you're taking this too slowly. Don't tell me that you're what I need, no. I believe that when I see so. Time for you to show me. Hush your lips, stop your
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Sunshine, and today I am currently in Parks, Arizona. I'm headed to City of Industry, California. We have a load of, it's 3 different products, but anyways, we're delivering it to City of Industry, Cali, and then we're going to get a load out from there. But before I get into this video, I have to do a disclaimer to the fellas. You might want to click off this video because, as you guys can see in the title, I'm going to be talking about periods, menstrual cycles, and blood and all that good stuff. And I'm going to be really just talking and focusing on the road, so not really looking at the camera. I saw in a lot of let's just get right into the video, into the topic. The topic is the Diva Menstrual cup, which I'll post a picture of it for my thumbnail. I won't be showing you guys the installation of the cup because I have a very heavy menstrual cycle, so we're gonna just get right past that part and just jump into it. So the cup in itself, it's like $40. You can get it from Walmart and pretty much any store that sells like pads and stuff like that. But it's $40. It's made of silicone, and it has a little stem at the bottom of it, and it has like a ridge, like a rim ridge at the top, which I'll probably show you guys a clip of it after once I wash it out and clean it out or whatever. But first things first, this video was requested by my female truck drivers because a lot of you ladies are like me. You're pretty much nervous, or you were nervous since I'm already trying it right now, but you're nervous or you're unsure about buying a product because it's something, definitely something new. If you're like me, I've been using pads for so many years, and I'm not really a big tampon person, so I would say I've been using pads forever. And one thing about me that most of you don't know is I am the baby sister of 6 sisters. I'm the youngest girl of 6 sisters, so you can imagine my mom stockpiled pads and tampons, you know, like they were going out of style or whatever, or they were running out. So pretty much when you buy the Diva cup, the first thing that I would suggest, because I see a lot of women doing this on YouTube, it has a little stem at the bottom. Before you cut that stem off, I would suggest you try using it with it, because this is going to be a whole trust experience. If you've been using pads for so long, this whole relationship with this Diva cup is going to be a matter of building trust, and you might not want to cut that stem off just yet until you've tried it with the stem. And me personally, after trying it, I don't think that I'm going to be cutting my stem off, because when I say I'm talking about periods and menstruals, it's like cycles, it's really nothing to me. Like, I've been in so many hygiene programs for young girls, like Studio 2B, you know, all the girl programs where they talk about feminine hygiene and their body and sex and all that good stuff. So it's just something that I can talk about. But with this cup and this whole cycle experience is going to be a whole new experience for you, because it is so personal. Like, you could just take a pad and wipe the tape off and slap it on your panties and just go on about your day. This cup like the installation process compared to watching the other views on YouTube and seeing how clean and how everything is. Like, I saw videos where women were actually showing you them installing the product, and they were also showing taking it out, and even showing how much blood was in the cup. And let me tell you guys, for me, if you have a heavier cycle, you won't be able to do that. And for one, not only do I have a heavy cycle, but I have a 7-day cycle, so I'm not like a 2.5 days and light and off. So I get like the worst of everything menstrual. So with that being said, I can't show you guys my cup or anything, and I'm sure you guys, honestly, I would prefer not to see that or whatever. So, but let me tell you, on the box when you get it, it says that it's good for up to 12 hours. You can leave it in for 12 hours without changing it. And you just simply, the box in the details, it gives you it's very simple, the installation process. You just fold it in half, which there's pictures on the box. You fold it in half and you basically shove it inside of you, and 12 hours later, you take it out. So, here's my experience. I followed the instructions, I folded it in half, and if you're one of those like germaphobes or whatever, the thing is made of silicone, and it reminds me kind of like when I first got my baby's bottles and nipples and stuff, how I boiled them and everything. If you're like a germaphobe or whatever, because it was through a factory, processed through a factory, I would suggest you could boil it before your first installation. But if you don't really care about that part, you can skip past that step. But installation is simple. I would suggest when you're installing it, you might want to do it when you're first getting out of the shower, because honestly, you're going to have blood on your fingers because of the way of the install. Now, the first time I installed it, I folded it in half and I inserted it, and the first thing that I noticed was, first, building trust is I didn't want to shove it too far inside because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to reach up and get it out. So I just put it in, and where I could still feel the tip, the stem that hangs out or whatever. And the first feeling that I got was immediately, it felt like I had to take a crap or whatever. And I think it was because I was panicking, and I was like, when you're not used to a foreign item being shoved up in you, you instantly tense up. I think you should relax or whatever. So I took like 10 seconds and I'm like, just breathe, just calm down, and breathe. And immediately, like 10 seconds later, that feeling just went away. Then I started my shift, so I had like 500, almost 600 miles to do in a day yesterday, and I drove for about 200 miles. Now, mind you, it says 12 hours, you're good, but as a driver, and I don't know, something in me was saying, I drove 200 miles, and something told me to just check it, because I was just curious to see what was going on with it. So I stopped at a truck stop, and I went into the bathroom, and I pulled it out, and pulling it out, it was, first off, before I even got to that part, I put it in, and the whole time that I was driving, I noticed that you could barely even feel it. I thought that by me sitting down for so long that you would be able to feel the pressure or whatever. But honestly, at some points, it felt like it was just making me worried about it because I couldn't feel it. And then at like two times, I felt like a long drip. And I just immediately panicked because I thought that it was leaking or whatever. But out of not trusting it in the first place, I decided to put on a panty liner because I just didn't want to give my full trust into it to see if the leak-free part would work. So I ended up stopping at a truck stop, and when I checked, it did leak a little bit on the panty liner, and that was because I didn't trust it at first, so I didn't stick it in deep enough or whatever. So when I pulled it out, I don't know why I was expecting the same reaction as all the other women, and sorry about the sunlight changes. I don't know why I was expecting the same reaction as all the other women. I was expecting like a little bit of blood at the end of barely any blood, because a lot of women were shocked that they didn't bleed as much. But when I tell you, 200 miles later, which is probably like 3.5 hours for me of driving, my cup was full, like almost to the top, and there was also like a lot of blood coming down out of me into the toilet. So I was like 12 hours, you know, so the whole 12-hour thing, wait, that does not work for me. So I ended, and honestly, you guys, like, I had blood all over my fingers because it is impossible for you to reach inside of you if you're a heavy bleeder and take it out and without having blood on you or whatever. Now, when you take it out, I would suggest that you have a bottle of water, take a bottle of water in a truck stop with you, because nobody wants to, I'm climbing a hill right now. Nobody wants to walk out. Ladies, please do not do that. Do not walk outside to the sink and clean out your Diva cup and wash your hands. Like, that is so gross to me. So if you plan on doing the Diva cup, please do not do that. Like, take a bottle of water and rinse it out in the stall, and you can take some tissue and wipe it off and rinse your fingers off before you reinsert it, and then you're probably going to have to rinse your fingers off again and then go wash your hands, because it is not going to be as clean as the women that are doing these reviews if you are a heavy if you have a heavier cycle. So that's the part of the process that really, honestly, even though periods and menstrual cycles are natural to me, that part just grosses me out so much, and it's something that I'm trying to get used to. And so after that, I drove for another 300 miles, and I went and I checked it again, and it was again full, even more. By me waiting even more miles, it was really full to the brim. Like, you could feel it coming out, and also pulling it out, you can feel pressure, a little bit of slight pressure, because you're pulling down and the brim of it is scraping against your vaginal walls. So pulling down on it, you might feel a little bit like, for temporarily, like, I don't know, not dizzy or whatever, but you're gonna feel, I don't know, it's something that you have to experience. Maybe I was just overthinking and being paranoid, but the second time that I installed it, I pushed it up a little bit farther so I didn't have any leaks. But I noticed that taking it out, it was really full. So that was like 300 miles. I waited a little bit longer, and it was 300 miles later. And since all I brought on the road with me this time was just like 2 pads or whatever, I ended up saying, forget it. I'm going to go to sleep and overnight with this thing in, and I'm going to use a pad as a just in case, because overnight, you know, depending on how many hours I sleep, I know that this thing is going to be full by the time that I wake up. And honestly, after sleeping with it in and installed, and let me tell you guys, while I'm sitting right now, like I'm sitting driving right now, and I can feel like driving with it on, you can feel like, I have an air ride seat. So the seat goes up and down, and not like hard, but it goes up and down. You can actually feel the thing. I'm gonna turn on my engine brakes. You can feel the cup slightly sliding up and down as the seat is bouncing, which is kind of weird, and that's kind of why I don't really like tampons or whatever. And tampons don't really do that, but you can still feel the cup sliding up and down, which is why I would suggest, if you're gonna wear this, and you're a female driver, wear a tampon, because you can feel the cup moving. So which is weird. So you gotta establish some trust. But sleeping overnight with it, I will say that I won't be doing that again, because it was like, I did leak or whatever, but for some reason, it's like, do you ladies sleep with tampons? Do you sleep overnight with tampons? I'm not really like a tampon person, and I'm going down a downgrade. It's like a long downgrade. It's not steep, it's just twists and turns and everything. But let me turn this heat down too. It's getting hot. But anyways, I lost my train of thought because of all of this that's going on. So overnight, I will not be sleeping with this thing in. When I get home, like I said, I only brought 2 pads out, because I was kind of forcing myself to try this thing out, and I knew that if I bought more pads, I wasn't going to try this, so I kind of forced myself to try it. But I don't recommend sleeping with it in. It doesn't do anything, but it's just, I feel like it's similar to a tampon, and I wouldn't sleep with a tampon in. I feel like your body, your vagina needs to breathe, if that's the best way to explain it. So for my next cycle, yes, I will be using it again, and I haven't really had enough time to try it, like walking and doing all kinds of different stuff, because I am a driver, but I will not be sleeping in it. I'll just be using it as like a daytime thing, and then using my regular overnight pads in the future. I'm trying to think, is there anything else about it? Definitely do not cut the stem off, because the way that you have to insert it inside of you as far up enough where it won't leak, trust me, you don't want to be trying to dig up and pinch the bottom of it to get it out. You want that stem to be there. The stem isn't going to bother you or anything, or it's not going to do anything. I feel like the ladies were being dramatic about the stem. In fact, it's actually softer than the item, so you might want to leave that there. But that's it, ladies. That's my review of the Diva Cup. If you had the same experience as me or similar experiences, make sure you comment below, and I hope you guys, ladies, try it out. But that's it. I'm getting ready to hit an extreme 6% downgrade, so I gotta go, ladies. Catch you guys later.